A few years ago, buying a brand new SUV felt like the safest decision a family could make. You walked into a dealership, saw the polished paint, the big touchscreen, the leather seats, the shiny wheels, and you thought one simple thing: this vehicle is new, so it should be reliable. That was the whole promise. You pay $45,000, $55,000, sometimes over $70,000, and in return you expect peace of mind. You expect smooth shifting. You expect the SUV to start every morning. You expect it to take your kids to school, your family on road trips, and your groceries home without drama. But now, something very different is happening. Across America, owners are reporting SUVs that hesitate at stoplights, jerk between gears, slip under acceleration, flash warning lights, and sometimes need major transmission work before they even reach 60,000 miles. And that is the terrifying part, because 60,000 miles used to be nothing. That was not supposed to be the danger zone. That was not supposed to be when owners started praying the warranty would save them. That was supposed to be the beginning of normal ownership. But in 2026, for some SUV buyers, 60,000 miles feels like a countdown. And dealers do not want you thinking about this. They want you focused on the payment. They want you staring at the panoramic roof. They want you looking at heated seats, wireless charging, big screens, black wheels, and fancy safety packages. They do not want you asking the one question that can ruin the sale. Why are so many modern SUVs having transmission complaints so early? Because once you ask that question, the whole showroom starts looking different. That shiny SUV no longer looks like freedom. It starts looking like risk. Today, we are exposing 8 popular SUVs buyers need to research carefully before signing anything. Some have owner complaints about hesitation, slipping, rough shifting, transmission replacement, software problems, or loss of drive power. And number 1 is especially shocking because the manufacturer basically changed direction after serious transmission concerns. Now, let's begin. Number 8, Chevrolet Traverse. The Chevrolet Traverse looks like the perfect family SUV. It is big, comfortable, practical, and has 3 rows of seating. For families who do not want a full-size Tahoe or Suburban, the Traverse seems like the smart middle ground. But the problem is that GM's transmission reputation has become harder to ignore. Owners of GM vehicles have complained for years about hard shifts, hesitation, shuddering, delayed engagement, and strange gear behavior. And when complaints like that start following a family SUV, buyers need to slow down. Because this is not a small weekend toy. This is the vehicle people use for school runs, vacations, grocery trips, and long highway drives. So, when a Traverse starts shifting roughly or hesitating before acceleration, it does not feel like a minor issue. It feels like a warning sign. And that is what scares owners. Maybe the SUV pauses before moving from a stop. Maybe it kicks into gear too harshly. Maybe the transmission feels confused in traffic. Maybe the dealer says everything is normal. That word drives owners crazy. Normal. If your expensive 3-row SUV jerks hard enough for passengers to notice, that does not feel normal. Dealers will still sell the Traverse as spacious, family-friendly, and comfortable. And yes, it has real strengths, but buyers need to remember this. Space does not matter if the drivetrain makes you nervous. A big cargo area does not help if you are afraid to take the SUV on a road trip. A good finance deal does not matter if the transmission becomes the most expensive part of the vehicle before the loan is even close to finished. The Traverse is not here because every unit will fail. It is here because transmission concern around GM SUVs is serious enough that smart buyers should research before trusting the dealership pitch. Number 7, Nissan Rogue. The Nissan Rogue is everywhere. You see it in school parking lots, rental fleets, neighborhoods, highways, and grocery store lots. It is one of those SUVs that normal people buy because it seems simple, affordable, efficient, and easy to live with. But the Rogue has one dark cloud that has followed Nissan for years: the CVT transmission. Some owners have no problems, but others have complained about whining, slipping, overheating, delayed acceleration, shuddering, hesitation, and expensive repair fears. And the problem is not just mechanical, it is emotional. Because when buyers hear Nissan CVT, many immediately start thinking about failure. They wonder if the transmission will make it past 100,000 miles. They wonder if it will fail right after warranty. They wonder if a small shudder today could become a $5,000 repair tomorrow. That kind of fear changes ownership. A family SUV should not make you paranoid every time you merge onto the highway. It should not make you search online at midnight for transmission replacement costs. It should not make you listen for every strange noise like your vehicle is hiding a secret. But that is exactly what the Rogue's CVT reputation has done for many buyers. Dealers love to focus on the Rogue's fuel economy, safety features, comfortable seats, and attractive monthly payments. And to be fair, the Rogue can look like a smart deal on paper. But a low payment means nothing if the transmission becomes a major problem. That is why buyers need to ask hard questions. Has Nissan improved the transmission? What are owners saying about this specific model year? Are there complaints about hesitation or overheating? What does the service history look like if you are buying used? The Rogue sells because it looks practical, but practical only matters if it stays reliable. And with Nissan's CVT reputation still following it, the Rogue deserves a very careful look before anyone signs the paperwork. Number 6. Honda Pilot. This one is uncomfortable because Honda has built its entire reputation on trust. People buy Hondas because they expect reliability. They expect smart engineering. They expect long-term ownership without drama. The Honda Pilot, especially, has always been seen as the responsible family choice. Not flashy, not risky, just solid. But even trusted brands are not immune to modern transmission complaints. Some Pilot owners have talked about rough, low-speed behavior, hesitation, jerky acceleration, and strange shifting feel. And while this does not mean the Pilot is suddenly unreliable, it does reveal a bigger problem happening across the industry. Modern transmissions are becoming too complicated. 10 speeds, computer controls, adaptive shifting, auto stop-start, fuel-saving programming, software calibration. All of it is designed to improve efficiency, but sometimes it makes the SUV feel less smooth in real life. And family SUV buyers hate that, because when you are pulling into traffic with kids in the back, you do not want hesitation. You do not want gear hunting. You do not want the SUV to feel like it is thinking too long before deciding what to do. The Pilot still has many strengths. It is spacious, practical, and backed by a strong brand reputation. Many owners will never experience serious problems. But that is exactly why buyers need to be careful. Honda's reputation can make people too relaxed. They walk into the dealership thinking, "It's a Honda, I don't need to worry." That mindset can be dangerous in 2026 because even Honda is dealing with complicated modern drivetrains, software systems, and efficiency demands. So test drive the Pilot properly. Do not just drive around the block on a smooth road. Take it into traffic. Accelerate from a stop. Drive uphill. Feel how it shifts at low speed. If the transmission feels strange during the test drive, do not ignore it. Because after 6 months of ownership, that small annoyance may become something you notice every single day. Number 5. Jeep Grand Cherokee L. The Jeep Grand Cherokee L was supposed to be Jeep's big family luxury move. 3 rows, strong styling, premium trims, big screens, leather seats, and a name people recognize. But Jeep has a problem. Its prices are moving into premium territory, while many owners still complain about mainstream reliability issues. And that gap is dangerous. Some Grand Cherokee L owners have complained about rough shifts, hesitation, slow down shifts, jerky behavior, warning lights, and powertrain frustration. And when a vehicle costs this much, buyers have very little patience for that. Because once an SUV crosses $50,000 or $60,000, people expect refinement. They expect smooth acceleration. They expect quiet shifting. They expect the vehicle to feel polished. But if the transmission kicks, hesitates, or feels confused, the premium illusion disappears fast. Jeep dealers will talk about heritage, capability, comfort, and style. They will show you the big screen. They will talk about luxury trims. They will tell you it is perfect for family road trips. But smart buyers need to ask what owners are saying after 20,000, 40,000, and 60,000 miles. Because the Grand Cherokee L is not just competing with cheap SUVs. It is competing with Toyota, Honda, Kia, Hyundai, Mazda, and luxury brands. At that level, trust matters. And Jeep has not fully earned blind trust from many buyers. A rough shift might not seem serious at first, but over time, it becomes something you obsess over. Every stop sign becomes a test. Every highway merge becomes a question. Is this normal? Is it getting worse? Will the dealer finally fix it? That is not how a premium family SUV should feel. That is why the Grand Cherokee L belongs on this list. Not because everyone will fail, but because buyers should not let luxury styling hide real ownership concerns. Number 4. Kia Telluride. The Kia Telluride became one of the biggest SUV success stories in America. When it launched, reviewers loved it. Families wanted it. Dealers marked it up. People said it felt like a luxury SUV without the luxury price. For a while, the Telluride looked almost unbeatable. But popularity brings attention, and attention brings complaints. Some owners have reported shifting delays, slipping sensations, vibrations, hesitation, and transmission behavior that does not feel right. That matters because the Telluride built its image around being the smart family choice. People buy it because they believe Kia has moved into the top tier. They compare it against the Honda Pilot, Toyota Highlander, Hyundai Palisade, Chevy Traverse, and Mazda CX-90. They are not buying it as a risky experiment. They are buying it because they trust the hype. And that is exactly why transmission complaints hurt. A Telluride can have a beautiful interior. It can have great features. It can look expensive. But none of that matters if the transmission starts making the owner nervous. And here is the worst part. Transmission complaints can be hard to prove. The SUV may drive badly for the owner, then act completely normal at the dealership. The technician says they cannot duplicate the issue. The owner takes it home. The problem comes back. That cycle destroys confidence. The Telluride is still a strong SUV in many ways, but buyers should not ignore complaints just because the vehicle is popular. Popularity does not cancel risk. Before buying one, take a long test drive. Try stop-and-go traffic. Try highway merging. Try hills. Pay attention to hesitation and rough shifts, because the best time to notice a transmission issue is before the papers are signed. Number 3, Volkswagen Atlas. The Volkswagen Atlas looks like exactly what American families want. It is big, roomy, clean-looking, and practical. The third row is usable. The cargo space is strong. The cabin feels open. But the Atlas has been followed by owner complaints involving electronics, reliability, powertrain behavior, and transmission concerns. And in a family SUV, that is a major problem. Volkswagen vehicles often feel good when they are new. The doors feel solid. The design feels clean. The driving experience can feel more European than some competitors. But long-term ownership is where buyers start asking harder questions. Will it hold up? Will repairs be expensive? Will the transmission behave properly after the warranty? Will the dealer be able to fix strange issues quickly? That is where the Atlas becomes risky for some buyers. Complaints around transmission behavior, loss of drive concerns, shifting problems, and service frustration are exactly the kind of things families do not want to deal with. Because this is not a sports car. This is a school-run vehicle, a road trip vehicle, a put the kids in the back and don't think about it vehicle. And if it starts hesitating or flashing warnings, the owner's trust disappears. The Atlas competes against some very strong rivals: Honda Pilot, Toyota Grand Highlander, Kia Telluride, Hyundai Palisade, Chevy Traverse, Mazda CX-90. If buyers sense reliability risk, they have many other choices. Dealers may focus on the space, the comfort, and the clean design. But buyers need to focus on the complaints, because the purchase price is only the beginning. The real cost shows up later, when the vehicle needs repairs and the warranty clock is ticking. Number 2, Ford Explorer. The Ford Explorer is one of the most famous SUVs in America. For decades, it has been a family vehicle, a police vehicle, a road trip machine, and a suburban driveway regular. But the modern Explorer has had its share of powertrain and transmission-related concerns. And when a name this big gets connected to shifting problems, power loss fears, or software-controlled drivetrain issues, buyers need to pay attention. The scary thing about modern transmission problems is that they are not always purely mechanical anymore. Sometimes the issue is software, a module, a reset, a calibration, a sensor, a computer controlling how the engine and transmission communicate. That makes problems harder for owners to understand and harder for dealers to explain. The SUV might drive normally one day, then hesitate the next. It might shift fine for the technician, then act strange again when the owner leaves the dealership. And when you are paying Explorer money, that is unacceptable. Higher trims can get very expensive. And at those prices, people expect smooth performance and confidence. They do not want rough shifts. They do not want hesitation. They do not want sudden warning lights. They do not want to wonder if software is protecting or damaging the drivetrain. Ford dealers will focus on power, technology, 3-row space, and sporty trims. But buyers need to ask harder questions. Has every recall been completed? Are there transmission service bulletins? Are owners complaining about rough shifting? Does the SUV feel smooth in traffic and at highway speeds? Because the Explorer name may be famous, but fame does not protect your wallet. And in 2026, familiar badges are not enough. Number 1, Hyundai Santa Fe. The Hyundai Santa Fe is number 1 because it perfectly shows what is wrong with the modern SUV market. It looks bold. It looks futuristic. It has a stylish interior, big screens, modern tech, and a design that makes people stop and stare. Hyundai wanted this SUV to feel like a fresh start. But behind the design, one issue became impossible to ignore: the transmission. The turbocharged Santa Fe used an 8-speed dual-clutch transmission, and this type of transmission can be tricky in a family SUV. When it works well, it can feel quick and efficient. But in stop-and-go traffic, parking lots, hills, and slow daily driving, dual-clutch transmissions can feel awkward, jerky, or hesitant. And family SUV buyers do not want awkward. They want smooth. They want predictable. They want easy. The Santa Fe's transmission concerns became serious enough that Hyundai changed direction for newer models, moving away from that dual-clutch setup in certain versions. That tells buyers something important. Automakers do not make major transmission changes for no reason. They do it when the current setup creates enough concern, complaints, or risk that staying the same becomes a bigger problem. And that is why the Santa Fe lands at number 1. Not because every Santa Fe will fail, but because it represents the danger of modern SUV complexity. A vehicle can look amazing. It can have screens, design, warranty, and technology. It can feel like the future. But if the transmission does not inspire confidence, everything else becomes secondary. And yes, Hyundai has a strong warranty, but a warranty does not give back your time. A warranty does not remove the stress of warning lights. A warranty does not help when your vehicle is sitting at the dealership and you still need to go to work. That is the truth buyers need to remember. A long warranty is good, but never needing to use it is better. So there you have it. 8 popular SUVs buyers should research carefully before signing anything. And the bigger message is simple. The SUV market has changed. Vehicles are heavier, engines are smaller, turbos are everywhere, transmissions have more gears, software controls almost everything, fuel economy rules are tighter, prices are higher, and buyers are being asked to trust more complexity than ever before. But complexity does not always mean durability. A 10-speed transmission may sound advanced. A dual clutch may sound sporty. A CVT may sound efficient. A software-controlled drivetrain may sound smart. But if the result is hesitation, slipping, jerking, rough shifts, warning lights, or early repairs, buyers do not care how advanced it is. They care whether the SUV works. So before you buy any SUV in 2026, do what dealers hope you do not do. Check recalls. Read owner complaints. Search transmission issues by model year. Watch long-term reviews. Take a long test drive. Drive in traffic. Drive uphill. Reverse slowly. Accelerate from a stop. Listen and feel carefully. And never let a salesperson rush you with the line, "This deal is only good today." Because a bad transmission does not care about your excitement. It does not care how good the SUV looked under showroom lights. And it definitely does not care that you still have years of payments left. Now tell me in the comments, which SUV on this list surprised you the most? And have you ever owned a vehicle that started having transmission problems before 60,000 miles? If you want more hidden automotive breakdowns, dealership truths, recall warnings, and owner complaint stories, subscribe to the channel right now. Because the truth about cars does not live in the brochure. It shows up after the sale.